The Destructors is a widely anthologized short story by Graham Greene, 1904 to 1991, first published in 1954. Greene, considered one of the greatest British writers of the 20th century, achieved both commercial and critical success, with many of his works adapted for film and television. A version of The Destructors appeared in the 1970s television series Shades of Green. His writing frequently explores themes influenced by his Catholic beliefs, as well as his struggles with alcoholism and depression. Set in a poverty-stricken London neighborhood shortly after World War II, the story follows a group of boys known as the Wormsley Common Gang. They accept a new member, Trevor, whose name would typically be ridiculed, but his unsettling presence and dark gaze earn him the intimidating nickname T. T becomes fascinated by a house that miraculously survived the Blitz, a 200-year-old structure surrounded by ruins. His father, an architect, once told him the house was designed by Christopher Wren, the famed architect of St. Paul's Cathedral. The boys have always resented the house because it belongs to Mr. Thomas, an elderly decorator they call Old Misery. When Old Misery offers one of the boys, Mike, some chocolate, the gang interprets this act of kindness as an attempt to bribe them into behaving. In defiance, they spend the morning bouncing balls against his wall, despite being mostly too old for such games. The next day, T interrupts a gang meeting where they had voted to sneak onto buses for free. Their leader, Blackie, reprimands him for missing the vote, but T proposes a bolder plan, destroying Old Misery's house while he is away for the bank holiday weekend. The gang votes in favor, and Blackie, initially uncertain, decides to stay when he realizes the scheme could elevate their reputation. Under T's leadership, the boys gather tools and methodically dismantle the house. On Sunday morning, they strip out skirting boards, pull up parquet flooring, cut electrical wires, remove doors, saw through banisters, and destroy furniture, fixtures, and personal belongings. They smash china and glass, tear up sheets and papers, and rip apart pillows. Amidst the destruction, T reveals to Blackie that he has discovered cash hidden inside Old Misery's mattress. Instead of taking the money, T burns it, remarking that he wishes he could witness Old Misery's reaction upon returning. Blackie asks if T harbors hatred for the old man, to which T replies that emotions like love and hate are illusory. Only material things hold real value. The next morning, the boys continue their destruction, removing floorboards, sawing through joists, and flooding the house. Just as they are on the verge of reducing the building to rubble, Mike, who had been with his parents, rushes in to announce that Old Misery is returning early. The boys want to flee, but T urges them to stay. He insists that even a mere facade has value and can be rebuilt into something once again habitable. One boy, Summers, hesitates and calls T by his full name, mocking him with, "Run along home, Trevor." Blackie steps forward, reclaiming leadership, but instead of expelling T, he collaborates with him to devise a new plan. When Old Misery returns, the house still appears intact. T greets him outside and claims a boy is trapped and possibly suffocating in his outhouse in the backyard. With Mike's help, T locks Old Misery in the outhouse and tells him that he'll be safe if he stays quiet. The boys pass a blanket and some food through a star-shaped hole in the door, reassuring Old Misery, "There's nothing personal, we just want you to be comfortable tonight." By the following morning, the house is barely supported by a thin line of mortar. The boys attach a rope to a nearby truck, tying the other end to the house's support beams. As the truck driver starts the engine and drives away, he unknowingly pulls down the house in a crash of bricks and debris. Upon hearing Old Misery's shouts, the driver stops and frees him from the outhouse. Standing amidst the ruins, Old Misery demands to know what happened to his home, and the confused truck driver laughs. Enraged, Old Misery yells at him for laughing. The story concludes with the truck driver apologizing and saying, "There's nothing personal, but you've got to admit it's funny." I hope you enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did, and be sure to subscribe. Thank you.